Let's set up for the month of March in my catch-all planner. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Tracy, and on my channel, I like to decorate with stickers, stamps, and all that fun stuff in both my planners and journals. So if that sounds like it may be of interest to you, then please hit that subscribe button. For all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, today we are in my catch-all planner, which is this Hemlock and Oak B5 planner. In this particular planner, this is the minimalist version. There is an overview page in between each of the months, and then we come to my calendar. So I do repurpose this. I use this primarily functionally, but I do have a decent amount of space for stickers. That sounds like they're at odds with one another. But basically this space up here that says what boundaries will you set for yourself, I don't use that, and I really don't need this area, so I go ahead and get rid of that as well. And then what habits do you wish to cultivate, as well as this habit tracker, I also cover those up. I have some areas and other planners to capture that information, so that's the reason why I can go ahead and get rid of this here. I do keep the top 3. This is for self-care, but I don't do that for self-care. I use this for my 3 main priorities for the month. And this is what intentions or milestones are you focusing on. I do what my focus area is this month. And then over here, I just draw out a whole bunch of boxes and things like that for list. And we'll talk about the specific list as I start setting this up. I'm also going to be setting up my calendar for the month of March. Now I need to go ahead and set this up. I still have about a week left in the month of February, but there are a lot of things popping up on my calendar that I need to be aware of. So I need to fill all of that in. Plus, I need to leave a lot more room because I know things are going to pop up. I just don't know those dates yet. So this is going to be semi-decorated. I'm not going to be able to decorate it as much as I want, but that's okay. This is going to be functional, but we're still going to make it cute. And I'll show you how to do that as well when we get to that. And obviously you can see I have a sticker book and I have some printable stickers. So I'm going to be going for 2 completely different looks for both of these. All right. So for starters, we're going to start with this page. And for that, I'm going to be using some Planet Derby printable stickers. I'm going to be using the Tortured Colors Fearless. I just love these colors. And these go perfectly with Tortured Records. If you can't tell, this was from like Taylor Swift theme. And then I have these like music note ripped sheets. I have a few of these, so we'll be using this. I don't know if I'm going to use the quotes or not, just because I think I'm going to have enough text on here with my writing, so I might not use the quotes. I also pulled some washi, and I pulled them in colors that I think would go pretty well with this. You could see for the most part, these are spot on. This is from Live, Love, Posh. This, I think, is Simply Gilded. Yeah, it is definitely Simply Gilded. I think that would work too. I just have to figure out if I want to bring in the rose gold. I think it could look really cool. So we might do that as well. And then I just have some generic Amazon washi that I got ages ago. I do have affiliate links for Planet Derby and Live, Love, Posh. So check down in the description box for the affiliate links and the discount codes because you can save yourself some money when you shop. All right. So let's go ahead and get to stickering because I'm going to sticker some of these areas up first. So I do not know how to read sheet music. And you will see basically every time I pull up one of these scraps, I'm like flipping it like up, down, left, right, trying to figure out, is there a way that these are supposed to go? I was like, is there like a right way and a wrong way to lay these? I just couldn't kind of figure that out. So at first I was going to lay that corner scrap in the bottom left-hand corner. Then I'm like, oh, I don't know. It might be upside down this way. Let's put it in the top right corner. In the end, it doesn't matter. At least I don't think it matters because like I said, I can't read it anyway. So it's not like I know if it's upside down or not. But I just want to kind of give that disclaimer in case some of you know how to read sheet music and you're like, oh, that's upside down. So as I mentioned, I have set areas that I've already designated for both the left and the right hand page. So there are certain areas that I know from the get-go I can cover with stickers. that bottom section, which is for habits and things like that, and then that top section, both on the left-hand side of the page. I will say really quickly that this template that I have set up as far as where I'm putting the stickers, where I would draw boxes, what sections I create for which boxes and things like that has been the same since January. And I'm actually kind of surprised by that, because when I put this together in January, I was going to kind of see how this goes, make changes as necessary, and I haven't had to make changes. So it's kind of, surprising to me that what I started the year with as far as what types of things I want to capture on this overview page has remained consistent for the past, now 3 months. So, it's kind of surprising. That's not to say that's not going to change, because this stuff can easily change. It's basically can change based on my season of life. But right now, the things that are captured on here seem to be working pretty well. So yeah, you see in that bottom left area of the page, I have created a cluster, and I've, layered a lot of different elements on top of one another. There was no thought process there, guys. The only thought process was, hey, I need to cover this habit tracker and all of this text, because that was a really, really busy box with a lot to cover. So I needed to put most of the stickers over there to cover it. And aside from that scrap that I put in the top right-hand corner, a lot of these stickers aren't going to cover the whole thing. So I needed to do a little bit of layering to make everything get covered. Of course, using whiteout tape would have worked fine as well. But if I have the stickers, might as well use them to cover that area. So yeah, that's basically what you're going to see me do. Now that top section on the left page, that is a little bit more wide open, but I felt like to balance it out, I needed to put a lot of stickers there as well. So that is why I put stickers there. Plus, I use that right page so functionally. You will see when I draw the boxes, literally that whole page is going to be full. I do need to mainly keep the decorating to that left page. With that said, after the fact, so, I'm doing this as a voiceover, so I already knew what I did. But looking at it now, like I said, that left page, the area with the 1, 2, 3 there, I changed that to my top 3 priorities of the month. I do like that. And I do think that that does help me. I don't always use it for goal related priorities. It's just 3 things I really need to get done this month. Sometimes it does work out that they happen to be goal related, but sometimes they may not be. As for the month of March, I don't know yet what they're going to be. There's still about 10 days left in the month of February. I needed to go ahead and set up my monthly calendar because I have things I need to write on it. That's the reason why I'm doing this setup early. So I'm not going to actually fill in this overview page probably until the 1st of March, or probably when I actually set up that first weekly setup for that first week of March is when I'm going to come in here and probably do this overview page. Now, the area that I am covering now with the washi. So there were 2 lines that I needed to cover. The line for that 3rd section, which is your focus and stuff like that, and then the line for that bottom section, which was the habit trackers. My stickers didn't cover that up. So, and I figured, hey, instead of just using the washi to cover the lines, let's make a box out of it. So that's what I did. Now, my intention was to use this box still as a focus area, and that's how I have been using it for the month of January and February, which is separate from my priorities, but things I want to work on, and those have been kind of more personal development related type things that I want to work on to better myself, improve my way of life, stuff like that. I'm actually contemplating switching it up. So I know I just said that I've been using this the same for the past 3 months, or the past 2 months at least. I may actually put my AM and PM routines over here in this box and just save the other boxes on the other pages more as to-dos, with the exception of the box I create for my budget. And that is because my AM and PM routines are big focus areas. So I guess I'm really not changing it up that much, but it gives me a little bit more space than what I actually have, what I draw on the next page. So now, see, I like watching this and doing a voiceover because it gives me ideas. So yeah, I think that's how I'm going to change that up. And the reason why I want to put my AM and PM, probably more so my AM and evening routines, not necessarily, I know that technically is a PM, but when I think of PM, I think of bedtime routine. So it's going to be like my wake up routine and then my after work routine. That's how I'm going to say it. And the reason why I want that in this particular planner is because I do designate areas on my weekly calendar every day for those tasks. So I would like to have that broken down in this actual planner for me to, kind of refer to. And I do need to put it in every month because it does change. Sometimes it changes within the month too, but I at least want to capture what it is, at least at the beginning of the month. Now you can see me drawn in the boxes. I'm not going to show you all the boxes that I draw in because that'll be pretty boring. But I just used, it's not a zebra mile liner. It's a knockoff I got from Journal Say. So it didn't actually have the color written on it. But I used that one just because I thought it matched pretty well. It's the same one that I actually used to outline the 1, 2, 3 priorities boxes on that other page as well. So what I'm going to use these boxes for is the top box, which is fairly small, is going to be for my budget. You saw me put the monthly budget sticker there. I don't know if you could read it or not, but I do not set a budget for every life category. I have been setting budgets only for my more frivolous spending. So the things that I don't necessarily need, but I know I'm going to buy, such as crafting and planner supplies. I'm going on a trip soon, so I know I'm going to probably be spending frivolously on things that I don't need for travel. Do I really need a new outfit? No. Will I buy a new outfit? Yes. But I want to keep track of that, and I do want to budget for that as well. And the reason why I say I want to keep track of that is because I'm going to set a budget for these categories. But then on my monthly review, which is at the very end of the month, that is where I actually log all of my spending in detail for those categories I've set budgets for. So any other category, I'm not logging my spending. So like my monthly groceries, not logging it. The gas, not logging it. So I'm only logging things for those categories, which I said craft supplies, the non-essential travel, non-essentials in general. Those are kind of the main things that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. Like I used to say beauty supplies, but now that I no longer have a beauty subscription box, I think I'm good for a while. So like I took that one off the list. So these categories do change as well, except for the planning and crafting. I have to keep a budget. I will tell you, followed it strictly in January, did not follow it at all in February. That just kind of just went out the window, but it's fine. It's fine. These budgets are to hopefully keep me from like overbuying, not necessarily overspending. So I do have funds set aside. Usually I dip into like a certain savings account for this type of stuff. And I do have that money set aside, but ideally I would like to spend less and then possibly use that money for something else. So now for this page, it's done as far as the functionality. Everything is set up. I just have some more stickers, and I don't want to put a sticker sheet up that only has a few stickers left. So I was trying to use as many of the scraps as I could. However, as I started placing some on the page, I'm like, ooh, it's looking a little busy. So you will see me remove some from the page after I put them down. I wanted some because what I want to do is I wanted the boxes that I drew to actually look a little decorated as well. When you draw a box, it's harder to add stickers around it like you would if I was using a box sticker, because then I could layer it, like put the scrap under the box sticker and not have to cut around it. But in the end, I think everything looks fine. Like you see me now, like removing a sticker that I placed down. Yeah, there was a little bit of rippage, but that's okay. If you're new to my channel, I will say I have a tendency to put a sticker down, then step back and look at it, and then like, don't like it there, and then change it. I do own Undo, but I try my best not to use it unless I really have to. So yeah. All right. So now we're going to move to the monthly calendar. So I'm going to be using this Travel Chic sticker book from Live Love Posh. I'm not sure if this is still available. If it is, I will link it down in the description box. Like I said, I do have affiliate discount codes and links for both Live Love Posh and Planet Darby. So yeah, check down there for more information. So I chose this sticker set because the colors weren't too different from what I just used. And I'm like, hey, well, we'll get some kind of uniformity there. Plus, I really like the size of the stickers. I mentioned that this is a very, very, I mean, everything in this planner is functional. This is my catch-all planner. And catch-all means it catches it all. So I'm going to put everything in here from appointments, birthdays, any other types of reminders. Like, for example, I have a trip coming up in a few months that final payment's due for, or something like that, then I'll mark that on here. Or when check-in for a trip opens, then I can mark that on here. There's some work things that I have to mark on here. Bill due dates I mark on here. So when I say everything, it's everything. So this gets pretty busy sometimes. January and February did not fill up that much. I didn't use the calendar as much as I should have. My weeklies got full, and I never really transferred that to my monthly. Usually, if I'm being honest, my monthly I only use for reference after March the 1st. So like once that first week comes in, where I move into like the weekly section that comes after this monthly calendar, I no longer add things to the monthly calendar. I'll just add it to the weekly section or something like that. So that's usually what I do. So it becomes like I said, just something I look at for reference in the future. But yeah, this month I do have a lot of things that I already need to add. So that's the reason why I had to go ahead and set this up. And because I knew I already had a lot to add, just in case I have even more to add within the next week, I really wanted to keep all of the stickers to the perimeter of the boxes. I just did not want to add a sticker in a spot that I would need to write on. With that said, if I did, I could always add a box to put over top of the sticker, so that way you can still see the sticker, but then I can add a box for functional purposes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this calendar. You can see me adding washi now, and that's going to be the finishing touches. So this is a pretty quick setup for me. I'm kind of proud of that. And yeah, so I still have like 2 more planners that I need to set up, but I'll probably do that off camera and just post the photos over on Instagram. All right, guys, there we go. This is so pretty. And guess what, y'all? Like, this is hanging over the 11th. This is hanging over just a little bit. And then this is hanging over right there. Other than that, none of the actual days, the dates, have any stickers in the boxes. And look how decorated this is. Now, this particular planner has a Monday calendar start, which, of course, I love. But because of that, this does have a little bit more room than probably like a happy planner. With the Sunday being the 1st, this whole first week is probably going to be full on a happy planner or any other Sunday start planners. So this particular planner, I do have a little bit more room, because there's 6 weeks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 6 weeks here. You rarely are going to see that in a planner. So it did give me a little bit more room to decorate and play. So therefore, I really didn't have to use any of the calendar space. And y'all, this looks so pretty. And then I know a lot of people use boxes and stuff. I'm trying to keep the bulk down on this planner because I love to decorate all of the pages and stuff. So I choose not to use box stickers in this planner unless I have to, unless I'm trying to cover something. So I've been using a lot of my Tombos, mile liners, and things like that to kind of take the place of boxes, which is why I drew in boxes here, just to try to keep down the space. I have more than enough box sticker books, but I use a lot of those in my journals and stuff. I just would rather keep that to a minimum here. But yeah, I love how this looks. I also love how this looks. 2 very different themes and sticker types and everything like that. But the color palette's very similar. I mean, I was able to use the same exact washi for both of them. So there we go. All right, guys. maybe this gave you some ideas about how to set up your calendars, maybe how to set up some of those blank pages in your planner, things like that. Or maybe you just like to watch decorate with me type videos, because there wasn't much planning going on today, but you got to see how I decorated it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you've yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.